Happy 100th Minecraft Utopia video, everybody. We have finally reached triple digits. And in celebration, we are here in my very first map to look at my first town. And what do you think? What do you guys like so far? Do you like it? Like it so far? Just kidding. This is my actual real first town. This is right here. So this is actually really cool. I don't understand why the map reset itself. Basically, this monorail literally traveled around the world. It was like, it went every corner. So that was one big plus of this old map. The other thing is, take a look. This town, it's just, there's so much to see. So we're gonna devote this video to looking at the town, and the next video we're gonna have something fun. I'm gonna set it to hard difficulty and just blow everything up. You know, get some creepers here and there, just fight off, just to defend this city. So, it's gonna be fun, So, as you can see, we got this massive town. So, where to begin? Let's start with the very middle of the town, because where else? Makes sense. Go from the middle and then make a circle around. So, there's a lot of different sections of this town, and I have it easily... Well, I guess the easiest way you can remember is North Old Town, then you got East Old Town, or West Old Town, South Old Town, and East Old Town. Now, each of these different districts is very different in of itself. I also have a plaque right here. Welcome to Old Town, a place where history, art, technology, and dreams come together to make this world a better place. So sweet. So, let's start with North. Actually, you know what? Let's save North for last. Let's start with West. So, when I first came to this town, I want to tell you guys this. It was all in the desert. It was really bad. There were just a few villagers here and there. All the houses were destroyed in some way. I guess a bunch of creepers came or something like that. So I rebuilt the homes, and then I decided, well, there's a river nearby. What if I found a way to bring, water to them? So I made this whole aqueduct. Actually, then I should probably start on the west side then, because the west side has the history. So let's start in the northwestern tip of the town. So I built all these aqueducts. Aqueducts? Whatever. I built all these aqueducts to reach the town, so that way, we got all this water into the city itself, which was really cool because I gave it some history. But once I did that, I did this. I built this massive garden, and this is about triple the size of what it used to be. It was this basically the same concept as this, but it was in the actual town itself. I built this massive aqueduct system into the town. That way it looks like the food was grown naturally. That way it's not like just out of the blue, out of nowhere food. So it was all a desert, and here I can even show you guys. It's still half a desert, and all of this was built on top of it. So the whole aqueduct system, basically, it made this town the largest source of food in the whole entire world, because I built this massive garden area. And so I stationed myself in this town more frequently, because I'm like, well, this town has the most food. So, naturally I stayed at the town a little bit longer. And then it got even better, because then in the town itself, I discovered this massive mine. Like I said, I really wish my map it's starting to, appear. But this massive mine literally stretched out through the entire continent. It was a huge mine. Over time I got all the resources, but it was just a massive mine. There were like mines within it already. There were all these different things and places to see. There were multiple trenches here and there. I think it even had not the fortress, but whatever the temple thing underground is. I'm completely drawing a blank on the name right now. But I even had portions like this where it was just all cobblestone, because I managed to I had enough time. I had enough time to just really work on it. So there was that. So this became the mining capital of my world too. And basically, I just really found it really hard to ever leave this town, because I was doing so much with it already. It was the largest source of food, largest mines. Oh yeah, by the way, here's something that's really cool too. Something I've been wanting to do in my current town in Minecraft Utopia. I've wanted to make an underground system of of roadways underground, subway system. So this is what I did here. This is going to stretch through the entire city. The entire city has all these underground subway stations. It's so cool because I could go to the mine. Oh. I could go to the mine and then just go back into the town, like literally in seconds. The other cool thing was, I don't remember if this is the exit or not. Okay, this is. So I had this one mine go into my original warehouse. Look a little familiar? This is where I drew inspiration for my warehouses that I have now in my town. This is a lot smaller, obviously. There's like only half of the storage space. And this is my original building headquarters. I had a little restaurant here. So let me get outside and show you guys where everything really started to escalate here. So things really started to get crazy when I built this building right here. Now I know it doesn't look very pretty because this is the original building that I built. This was the actual very first structure I built. I have not altered it in any way. I did a few renovations inside, but I decided to just leave it because it was just a marquee thing, you know? I didn't really want to alter it very much. So down here, and kind of like my town already, it was just a harbor. Big harbor, you walk in and there's like this nice building right here. This building, like I said, was the very first building I really built in this town. Like I rebuilt a few villagers' huts and things like that, but I never really built anything extreme. So this was the first thing I built. This harbor was really cool at the time. So then I built the warehouse, and I built my building right here, and then I built this lighthouse right here. Doesn't really function very well, but it's a lighthouse nonetheless. And that's when this whole area really started to develop. That's when I realized, you know, I'm building this harbor all for myself. I'm building this whole like region where it's like it's easy for me to travel the world on boat. I have this whole mining system underground now. I have just these random buildings just for me. Well, what if I did more for the town? And so then I started focusing on the middle of the town where the wishing well was. And I built a dining hall, I built a few restaurants, but then eventually I started moving a little bit more west. This is where things got really interesting. So there's this lake area right here, this bay, and I just decided, what if I built an island? So I put this massive island right here and decided to build a church. I decided to build a little like resting area. By the way, this is also another way down. I have it marked with 5 torches. Dig through and it'll go do the underground mine. It's kind of like an evacuation sort of thing. I mean, it does exist, but anyway, I built this church and I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely, it's small on the inside, but once the higher you go, the bigger it gets. So I thought it was pretty cool at the time. Then when you get out here, I started to get a little more crazy. I'm like, well, what if we did a little more landscaping with it? What if we built, instead of a wall around the town, we built a waterfall? And that's where I started coming up with the idea with we need a mountain around the town, not a giant fortress wall. So I started working on that a little bit more, but that kind of stopped. That kind of died off. But then I built the clock tower over here. And then I built, I realized I needed more stations around the town because the town was starting to get pretty big. Mind you, I'm telling you these most important areas, like the rest of the town was being developed as well. The whole entire town was being developed, but these areas were like the big projects. So I started to build stations around the town. As you saw, I went to that first station over there, and then I came into this station. This station was actually really cool in my head because it's a large glass window that shows you the warehouse and the island, the two main things that I really built in this town at the time. So I thought this building itself was really cool. It's small, it's cramped, but that's what gives it character. And then I built this little shop across the way. It's got everything in here, and I just like the way it looks. So then I built this whole area, and then I'm gonna try to keep my head down because I don't want to show you guys too much of the middle of the town. So then you walk all the way to the wishing well, and the wishing well is kind of like the main focal point. So I realized I'm here so often. I realized that I'm in this town so frequently. There's other villages around the world. So I figured, I think I need a building to just kind of devote it to the world. You know, just to kind of like showcase that this town is the center point of the world. Bam. Built a random skyscraper in the middle of this town. The original intent was that each floor would be kind of devoted to each town. So this is kind of like the lobby area. I'm not gonna go to all the floors, but this floor is devoted to Newtown, which is on the other complete opposite side of the map. It was a pretty nice town. And then this is Old Town. This is the current town right now. So each office kind of represents a different town. There's 4 more floors. I had all these ambitious plans to build like 20 towns in the whole entire world, but it kind of stopped after this one. So I built this giant skyscraper over here, but there was all these glass windows looking around on all sides, all directions, north, south, east, and west. And I realized there's nothing really west of the town. That's when I decided to build all of this. Now, I even built this massive lake right here, this random waterfall thing. I built these homes, I built this restaurant right there, and I built this whole waterfront. Now, this area right here was actually the last thing I was working on. I was trying to reinvigorate some more energy here because I built it, and there was something that I did that I kind of liked and I kind of hated that I did. Let me show you what that was. It was a very intriguing idea. I'm gonna come back and show you guys this in a second, but it was a very intriguing idea, and that was a canal. I built this canal all the way, and I don't know if you can see my map. There's this giant blue line that goes south to north and then goes west to east and then south to north again. This giant canal cut through the town. Now, it created a massive problem because the canal was like 20 blocks too low to the rest of the town. So what I did was I built a little waterway above the canal. I need to find a good spot to show you guys what I'm really talking about. Let me just get out of here for a second. There it is. So I built this massive canal that was just so pointless. It was a good idea in theory. I could just travel through the continent easily, but it looked ugly. So I was working on all these different renovation projects, and now I'm on this project right here where I'm trying to rebuild the area, and it looks really nice. I got these buildings right here. I'll show you guys this in a second. There's going to be a massive building right here next to that, but the cool thing that I have over here is that all of this is above the canal. Mind you, this is all above a canal. This is a little shop that I thought was really cool. Might be a farmer's market right here. It's got some fruit and food. It's got some plants on this side. And then when you come over here, here's the stage. It's gonna be like a little theater, outdoor show sort of thing. Man, I'm running out of time already, but I guess I'm gonna have to show you guys a little more of this in just a little bit. But then this whole area right here was really cool too, because then I built this whole like little canal area, and you guys kind of see a little like canal area kind of in my new town in Utopia. You see a little bit of that next to on the right hand side of that giant pond that I made. So all these buildings are the same cookie cutter buildings. They're all like townhouse kind of styles, but it's pretty cool. Some of them are really detailed on the inside. They look really neat. They just have a lot of character. I guess the best way you could describe this is like Disneyland, where it's like old kind of feel, and it looks really neat. It looks really small, but it's like really, I don't know, it just looks good. And then my new current town's like Walt Disney World, where it's like 10 times bigger, everything's more spaced out. And then we got an art building right here. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at this. I'll show you guys a little bit more in the next video, actually. So, happy Minecraft Utopia number 100, guys.